personal watercraft, water scooters, whatever you call them, these little boats are taking Minnesota's waterways by storm and are the fastest growing segment of the U.S. watercraft industry. In fact, over the last 5 years, the number of personal watercraft has actually doubled in Minnesota to over 13,000 machines. Unfortunately, along with the increase in water scooter numbers has come an increase in water scooter accidents. Water scooters make up less than 2% of Minnesota's watercraft. But in 1994, they were involved in 20% of the fatal watercraft accidents. Part of the reason for the increase in mishaps may be because water scooters seem so easy to operate that novice riders feel a false sense of their own skill. Another reason may be that many riders have had little or no safety training.
Have fun.
Many of the people involved in personal watercraft accidents have less than 20 hours of experience and probably aren't aware of the special laws that pertain to personal watercraft.
Personal watercraft collisions, the most common kind of water scooter accident, can occur when two or more water scooters are riding too closely and the operators lose track of each other. A quick turn by an operator who hasn't checked where the other machines are can mean a sudden and tragic accidental meeting. Personal watercraft rely on the thrust of a water jet pumped out a steerable nozzle to propel the craft forward. Moving the handlebars redirects the water jet, causing the scooter to turn. Riders that forget that important bit of information can find themselves involved in a serious accident. These accidents can happen when one water scooter follows too closely behind another. This situation turns deadly when the operator of the lead machine makes a high-speed turn, causing the scooter to stop. The second operator instinctively lets up on the throttle and turns away. By releasing the throttle before turning, her machine, carried along by momentum, continues straight ahead and into the other scooter. How do you avoid this type of accident? First, don't follow another watercraft too closely, especially another personal watercraft. Avoid making any sharp or sudden maneuvers. And be sure to look before turning. When you need to turn, even in an emergency situation, you have to remember to keep the throttle depressed and turn gradually so you don't spin out. Although modern personal watercraft are relatively quiet, when running in a small area over a long period of time, the sound of one or several machines can become quite irritating to your neighbors.
The common complaints aren't so much the personal watercraft themselves as it is the noise that they generate. The noise is so bothersome because the water scooter operators tend to operate their water scooters in the front of lake owners' cabins around and around in circles for hours on end. And you can't really blame the cabin owners for being upset.
To help keep peace with your neighbors and perhaps avoid more legal restrictions on the sport, it's a good idea for you to avoid operating in one area for long periods and try to do most of your riding well away from lakeshore homes and other boaters. In 1991, new laws went on the books that address most personal watercraft safety concerns, and dealers and rentals are required to inform customers about the laws. But once the machine gets home, there may be 5 or 6 other riders of the same machine that receive little or no safety information. Here are some of the laws that every water scooter rider should know about before they head out for a day of fun. The law requires that everyone on board your personal watercraft must wear a U.S. Coast Guard approved life vest, and that the machine is equipped with a fire extinguisher, and must display current registration numbers and decals. The law also prohibits wake jumping within 100 feet of another watercraft, including the wake of another water scooter. And if your machine comes equipped with a cutoff lanyard, it must be attached to your body, clothing, or life jacket. If the spring-loaded throttle mechanism has been tampered with so it doesn't return to the idle setting, you have to have it repaired. You must stay at a slow, no-wake speed within 100 feet of any shoreline, dock, swimmer, swimming raft, moored or anchored boats, non-motorized watercraft, or if you're in emergent or floating vegetation. If you tow a water skier, inner tube, or something similar, you must have another person on board to act as an observer. Or your machine must be equipped with factory-specified rear-view mirrors. If it's past sunset, you've got to wait until 8 the next morning before you can ride your personal watercraft again. And although you'd think it would go without saying, it's unlawful to chase or harass wildlife. There are age restrictions for personal watercraft and requirements for youth watercraft operators' permits. Children under 13 may not operate a personal watercraft even if there's an adult on board. 13-year-olds may operate without an adult on board, but need to have a Minnesota watercraft operator's permit that they can earn by taking a simple home study course from the DNR. Also, 13-year-olds must be under unaided observation by someone at least 18 years old. The observer may be on shore, but should be able to recognize the child on the craft without using binoculars. 14 through 17-year-olds may operate a personal watercraft without adult supervision as long as they have their watercraft operator's permit with them on board. Although Minnesota's personal watercraft law covers many water scooter safety concerns, there are a few more things you might find helpful when out on the water. Some kind of eye protection is a must to shield you from spray, wind, and of course the occasional monster-sized insect. Foot protection, too, is a good idea. Soft-soled shoes or water socks will make boarding easier and also help you lean to steer your scooter. There is another phenomenon that researchers are only beginning to understand that may play a part in personal watercraft accidents. When traveling at cruising speed, some inexperienced riders tend to keep their eyes fixed straight ahead and experience a sort of tunnel vision. This can cause them to miss seeing other watercraft and hazards. Riders have to force themselves to keep on constant lookout for boats and other hazards and avoid tunnel vision by looking frequently from side to side. There are lots of other people where you like to ride who may not share your enthusiasm for personal watercraft. To avoid more legal restrictions on your sport and making yourself an unwelcome guest on your lake, remember these common-sense courtesy rules. Talk to your neighbors and ask them if your scooter disturbs them. It might help if you offer to take them for a ride. Don't do anything to your machine to make it louder. It's illegal and discourteous to others. Take time to learn the personal watercraft as well as the other boating laws, and then obey them. Make sure other people who ride your scooter obey them too.
Personal watercraft owners should pass along the safety information that they get from their dealer to every rider of their water scooter. Every rider should have the safety information that they need to keep themselves safe and other people safe when they're out on the water.
And speaking of safety, here are a few tips from the Minnesota DNR that will help reduce your chances of having an accident while riding your scooter. First of all, stay away from alcohol. Being under the influence of alcohol or illegal drugs while operating a water scooter is dangerous and against the law. And don't make any sudden or unexpected maneuvers that may surprise another boater or cause a rear-end collision with another water scooter. When turning, especially when maneuvering away from a hazard, remember your scooter needs power to turn, so keep your throttle depressed. And take a safe boating course. You'll be surprised how much you learn, and you'll meet people that share your love of boating. The DNR has a free sticker available with a summary of the personal watercraft laws that you can place on your scooter. That way, every rider will know the laws and have a much safer day on the water. People who wish to order the free water scooter law sticker or learn more about boating and water safety may call the DNR in the Twin Cities area at 296-6157. Or in Greater Minnesota toll-free at 800-766-6000.